look up TARP, Trouble Asset Relief Program. We paid off 800 million, no, billion, I don't know, a lot of loans for fat cats on Wall Street. So don't tell me the government can't pay off people's loans, or it's so bad. It is bad. I hate what I'm saying right now, but forget it. We're on reparations. Let's do them the right way. It's either this or you're going to ask for $5,000 and have a freaking party. And here we are, back to what's important. So you'll probably skip over this video, but if you decide to watch it, you'll be blessed with some true information. Because this is the action plan. This is where we take action about what's going on in our community, see if we can talk about exactly how to fix it. So what we've been talking about are leftist policies that have been thrust on the black community. And now that we know exactly what has been kicked to us, exactly what it looks like, and exactly how we should view it through the lens of reality, now I want to move on to the action plan. This is where we don't just like to talk about things and complain, but see how we can really fix the problems. And today, we're going to talk about something that may be more important than anything we talk about for the rest of the series. And that's exactly how to fix the black community. Damn right. This is very specific and is very prescribed, meaning that every element of this 10-point plan is in there for a reason. It's not just to pander to people, not just to make them feel good. For the context of the action plan, you need to know a couple things. The first being the socioeconomic breakdown of the black community, which is not very different than that of the entire United States. Now, there's 2% at the top. These are the media elites. Who are the media elites? They're the people you see on TV. They're the ball players. They're the entertainers. A couple tycoons. And of course, politicians from DC. All millionaires, all making types of money. And they lead in the culture. Right beneath the media elites, that 2%, you got the black upper class. These are corporate executives. These are lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs. They make 10 to 12% of our population. Then you got the upper to middle and middle class black Americans. A whopping 40% of the entire population. Who are these people? I'm one of them. They're also teachers, union workers, local and federal government workers, contractors. They're nonprofit and civic organization employees. Essentially people that get paid from the government. They're in the military. They work for the government in some capacity. And the problem is, because such a large portion of our population is employed by the government, they like big government. So it's going to seem some of the things we want to do go against your interests. But the question is, do your interests align with our community's interests? And sometimes I question that. Right underneath that, with the middle class, you got the working poor. These are the people that are in a perpetual rat race. You got the single mothers with children. you're a single mother, there's a huge percentage chance that you're going to be poor. Even if you're working, you've got too many mouths to feed. You've got too many obstacles and logistics. This makes up about 25% of the black population. Not just single mothers, but the working poor. And then the final 20% or so are those that are in perpetual poverty. These are the people that are on public assistance. They're in this cycle of having no role models to see. You know, this is tough, but it's the truth. And this is the place where you come to hear the truth. So here's the freaking truth. Back in the 80s, early 90s, the black community was just flooded. Drugs, crack. People were zombies and shit, roaming around. And the kids wasn't raised right. They wasn't raised with our values that we typically pass down because their parents was absent. And they were not just there to teach them. And those kids have now grown up, not having this piece of knowledge that should have been passed down. But because of that absentee parent, they don't know. And now they have kids, and they're teaching kids things that they don't know. Or they're not teaching kids things at all because they don't know. And this is where we're at right now. And it's hard to say that this 20%, 1 out of every 5 black Americans are in this situation. But that's where we're at. The good news is there's working poor, the perpetual poor. This 10-point plan is the one that's going to help you. So let's get into it. I call this a black conservatives agenda for the black community. If I really wanted to just sell it, I would call it reparations. Hey, let's call it reparations. I want reparations. All right, let's get it. Cut that, put it in, say, prominent black conservative wants reparations. I want them now. What do you want? Well, what if you gave us $50,000 a piece? There's about 42 million of us here. Give every one of us $50,000. That's what I want. It costs about $2 trillion, about 65% of the entire government's budget. You know, so we can bankrupt the country. That's great freaking plan. Give me a break. That's not what I want. That's not what you want. Nobody here wants a handout. Nobody listening to this podcast wants a handout. How do we fix what's going on with that 45%, 25% of the working poor and the 20% of the perpetual poor? How do we fix their situation? Step 1, the first step in the plan to save the black community, is we need to teach people trades. What's a trade? Construction, plumbing, electrician. Not everybody's going to go to college. Not everybody's going to be a doctor and lawyer. Not everybody's going to get a PhD. And for those people that aren't, and those people that are already out of school, why don't we give them opportunity to rebuild their community? And as the community's changing around you, they're going to raise the rent and make you leave. Or you can hop in this training program, learn some construction, go back to your own building, knock down a couple walls, put up a couple posts, change out a couple things, do a little paint. Boom, you got a condo that you live in. Get a loan on it, great rate. Bam, you set up. Taking pride in your work, learning how to build. It's the American dream. Number 2, those kids that are in school, not the ones just graduating, the ones that are coming up through 7th and 8th grade, freshmen through seniors. They deserve a journeyman program. What is that? Well, you ever take shop in school? You know, you build a clock or a keychain holder or some stuff. Well, why don't we teach kids how to actually build houses, how to build apartment complexes and buildings, skyscrapers, cars, trains, planes, automobiles, you know. And through this journeyman program, they're taught trades coming through school. Again, the ones that are not on track to go to college. So they have great opportunity towards making some credible money. I know guys that make $60, $70, $80, $100,000 working in the trades. Number 3, we need to strike deals between everybody from tiny startups to huge multinational corporations and say, if you build in these zones, we already have them mapped out. They're called opportunity zones. Nobody wants to talk about them. Ben Carson's trying to push them, and the people that run these cities, the areas I'm talking about, they trying to push back and say, oh no, not on your watch. You're not going to make this stuff pop. Not on your watch, make us look bad. Look up opportunity zone. And in these zones, we give incentives for these companies to come in and build. And they take on the development of the community, the commercial aspects of the community, building it, ensuring that they're making businesses that can then employ both skilled and unskilled workers that are from the community. Number 4, we need to set up in each of these communities transitional Medicare hospital. What is that? The population in this area needs preventative health care. And most of them, the folks that we're trying to help out, are going to qualify for some type of Medicare starting off. And because they're going to evolve and their situation's going to improve, they will be able to provide their own means of health insurance, either through employee plans or through private plans or through their own means. And as they move from Medicare to more private insurance and private health care, the hospitals in these communities will also evolve with them. There needs to be incentives set up, controls, programs set up to allow this to happen. Number 5, we need to rebuild our schools. Every failing school in the hood needs to be knocked down to the studs at least, if not to the foundation. We need a complete reset. And when we rebuild these schools, make them state of the art, credible labs, incredible sports facilities, incredible music facilities. We ensure that they have the best of the best technology used in the right way. We attract incredible teachers, overpay them. I don't care. Everybody's getting a subsidy. Why not us? We should pay those middle class blacks in our community, pay them to mentor, actually compensate them for their time to go down and spend time in their communities and mentor those that have not been taught what we were talking about earlier. Have them go down there and actually be compensated to improve their community, give them incentives as well. That's step 6. Step 7. This country, the United States of America, was built on unlimited debt. The people who built the first companies, who created the first states, were borrowing money from Europeans. And that allowed them to have good, merit-based ideas and grow the country. Now we can talk about how, it was built, but I'm not getting into that right now. So, I see no harm in extending a similar favor to the black community since we're doing reparations, right? So, those middle to upper class blacks that have all these businesses and business ideas and operating businesses already that could use some extra credit, that could expand, that could hire, again, from within the community. And we provide that credit to these folks. Start an entrepreneurial boom in the community, fueled by our people, backstopped by the government. What does that mean? What that means is, if the company blows up and Bank of America lended the money, well, then the government's going to pay back Bank of America. It's kind of like what they did in 2009. Except none of us got paid back. A lot of us lost our homes. Interesting. It's not so crazy. It's not so crazy. I think there should be incentives set up where these folks that already, the entrepreneurial class in our community that already have these businesses, that they partner with other middle to working class blacks in our community, and they say, let's do something like, I'm gonna own 51%, you're gonna own 10, you're gonna own 10, you're gonna own 10, you're gonna own 10, you're gonna own 9. We're all gonna work hard and make this happen. Now you're creating generational wealth for 5 more families. Let's incentivize that. Let's enable that. Number 8 ties in with where we started, building affordable housing. You see, in the community, as we build it, there should be homes and condos built where people in the community that are now being employed and being productive could come in and build and buy that starter home. You see, when these communities change, like in South Central Los Angeles, all of a sudden we have homes that are $900,000 and $1.5 million, and condos that are $600,000. We'll get there. But right now, we need to incrementally work our way there. A great way of doing that, buying a condo. Needs a huge house, be house poor right away. No, jump in a condo. And because there's different levels and different situations, we need a housing that's affordable on all different types of levels. Make sure they're built in the community. Make sure they're built by those people that we train in the trades. Make sure that the construction companies are invested in and run by blacks that are here in the community. Number 9, I think everything I said about socialism, I'm just gonna say, forget it. Trying to help us out. So socialism it is. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, I guess every other Democrat this year. Let's get it. What are we talking about? Paying off student loans. If you run up a debt, right? You run up a debt and you're totally irresponsible and you're going to school and you come out and you have $200,000 in debt, we'll just pay it off. It's reparations. No, that's not what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to handle going to college. If you're black and you go to college, graduate from college, take loans, do whatever. How about this? Work and pay your way. Or you can take loans. If you take loans, then companies that are participating in this program, the 10-point plan, it means either they're just donating money to it or they're building in the community, which is preferred. Then, when they hire that student that has the loans, this is what happens. First, the schools, which are fat cats, they're going to discount the loan by 25%. Then, the company is going to take on 25% of the loan and pay it back. Then, the government is going to take on the other 25% of the loan and pay it back. You say, oh my goodness, you're paying off people's debt. What are you doing? I'm saying, look up TARP, Trouble Asset Relief Program. We paid off 800 billion, I don't know, a lot of loans for fat cats on Wall Street. So don't tell me the government can't pay off people's loans, where it's so bad. It is bad. I hate what I'm saying right now, but forget it. We're on reparations. Let's do them the right way. It's either this or you're going to ask for $5,000 and have a freaking party. It's a partnership. Company pays 25%, the school pays 25%, the government pays 25%, the student pays for 25%, and the loan is paid off. Let's make it happen in 5 years after getting hired. Boom. Next, number 10. Here's the hard one. We gotta change the culture. I have absolutely no idea how to change the basic culture of our black communities. You know what I'm talking about. I can't break in. We're consumed by pop culture. We're consumed by hip hop culture. We're consumed by self-gratification and immediate gratification and all types of just terrible, terrible stuff that's put in our community and made mainstream. I don't know how to fix that. But if we're doing reparations, I got a plan. All right. How are we going to change the culture? First thing we're going to do is we're going to pay families to adopt children. And you go, what are you talking about? We already do that kind of, right? If you're foster care, get paid. I don't know. Here's the thing. What we're trying to do is stop abortions from unwanted pregnancies. And if you have an unwanted pregnancy, then you should know that there will be someone there to adopt your child if you do not want that child. And that is important because if we're going to respect human life in our community, we need to get away from that. So if I gave someone $1 million to adopt a baby, every baby unwanted would be adopted. So I don't say give them $1 million. That's probably too much. $500,000, still overshooting it. But my point is, there's somewhere where we get those babies adopted. Let's pay for it. It's reparations. We're going to pay for tutors for all the kids, from preschool through high school, and make sure that they truly want to work and get help in their education, then not only go to a world-class school, but also get help after school. And for those families that can work with their children and have the time to work with their children, the capacity to work with their children, and make sure their homework is getting done, as opposed to paying a tutor, we're going to pay them. Make sure they're engaged. Make sure that they're actually working with their children and ensuring that they are getting the best education that they can get. It's reparations. It's pay them. Pay the parents to do the homework. I said it. Let's ensure that as we build these new companies, as we expand these existing companies, let's ensure that as part of these companies, there's media companies that will represent us, black men especially, but will represent all of us in a positive light through different sources of media, on TV and the movies and music. Make sure that there is our culture personified with the negativity taken away. Because we have to change the culture if we're going to change the situation. That's real talk. So that's my 10-point plan. Tell everybody you know. The black conservative wants reparations, but he doesn't want a handout. We're better than a handout. I think we can make this happen. Who's on board? I want to see who's on board and who's gonna ride with me. That's right, we're gonna close out episode 2 with part 5. Ride with me. If you listen to this and the action plan, you know how important this all is becoming. And so here's the true action that I'm asking you to take in part 5 of episode 2. As my man Nipsey, no, I don't know Nipsey, I just live in his neighborhood. My man Nipsey said, let's double up. And I'm asking you, let's double up. Right here for part 5, your action is, you're watching this. All of a sudden, the light bulbs are going on. Things are rounding out. You're seeing the vision. Share the vision. Let's double up. If 2 people are watching this, I want you to send it to 2 other people. Now we got 4. We just doubled up. If 50 people are watching this, I want all 50 of those people to send it to another 50 people. Boom, we got 100. Let's double up. That is the call to action for this week. This is important. You've been tasked with a plan. You've been given the plan. It's even been put in a nice marketing box, just like we like it. Reparations. I think we can make this happen. I think we're starting to see eye to eye. This wasn't so hard. We're only on episode 2 out of 7. Things are just getting interesting. Thanks for watching another episode of the Saint LibCon podcast. You know what time it is. Let's get it.